Braden Stallman, and as part of Festool's Sand Finish Pass campaign, they recently sent me the Festool RO150 Rotex sander to evaluate for a month. This sander looks familiar. It's because it's the exact same one that both Spencer and Sheen used during their part of the program. By now you're probably familiar with the fact that the RO150 is a dual mode sander, meaning that it does both coarse sanding and finish sanding. Coarse sanding is done by a gear-driven rotary orbit mode that acts much like a belt sander with its aggressiveness, but has the benefit of a rotary scratch pattern that's much easier to sand away. Finish sanding is achieved with a random orbit mode with a 5mm stroke. This scratch pattern has all the hallmarks of a fine finish sander. I was especially interested to try the RO150 based on my experience with the RO90. Having a large 6-inch dual mode sander lets you tackle a variety of large-scale projects with the simplicity of a single machine. As with most Festool sanders, the RO150 combines excellent dust extraction with a variable speed motor. Along with the sander, I was also able to try out the Rubin 2 and Granat abrasives. I found myself constantly reaching for the Granat based both on its long life and its ability to resist clogging. A quick word about safety. Yes, it's a sander, but it is a very powerful sander, so make sure you're wearing hearing and eye protection. Also, although the RO150 has excellent dust extraction when connected to a CT vac, I still prefer to wear a respirator whenever I'm sanding. The first project for the RO150 was removing the original finish from a salvaged oak door header. I began in rotary orbit mode with 60 grit Granat to strip the finish. Using the auxiliary front handle, the sander was easy to control and keep flat. The reverse side of the piece was covered with paint. Again, the combination of Granat and rotary orbit mode removed it quickly. Regardless of the material being removed, very little dust was generated by the process. Up next was a butcher block countertop that needed refreshing. The old surface was a sticky layer of various oils and cooking grease. The Granat did an excellent job in rotary orbit mode, removing the top coat with very little clogging. Once the finish was removed, I switched to the Rubin 2 abrasives with random orbit mode and finished the job. A friend was doing some work on a house that had oak floors in poor condition. I knew a 6-inch sander, regardless of capability, would be ridiculous to use for floor refinishing, but thought the RO150 would be useful as an edge sander. Using the edge protector, I was able to sand right up to the wall and level the remnants of a previous refinishing job. I was actually surprised at how fast the RO150 moved through the job, and although I would not recommend using it for large rooms, it would be handy for smaller confined jobs like hallways and closets. I had some rough cut, live edge walnut that I needed to smooth and flatten for an end table I'm building. I wanted to aggressively remove the milling marks on the surface while protecting the unique live edge. The RO150 allows for various sanding pads to be used depending on the application. I swapped the standard soft pad for the much firmer hard pad to ensure a flat finish and crisp edges. This accessory pad prevented the sanding disc from cupping over into the live edge while working on the top surface. I preferred using the accessory hard pad over the standard soft pad for most applications, as it ensures a flat surface and clean, sharp edges. To evaluate the random orbit finish sanding mode, I used the R150 to sand numerous cabinet panels that I was in the process of assembling. Using Rubin 2 and 180 grit, I made a first pass in rotary orbit mode and then quickly flipped to random orbit mode for the final pass on each panel. I found this technique extended the range of the 180 grit abrasive as well as sped up the sanding process. This project also let me gain some experience using the RO150 for an extended period of time. I have to say the sander was very smooth with little vibration, something I appreciated well after the job was done.